So you are saying that if you are chasing for spiritual enlightenment, there is a less chance of getting it. But if you stop chasing it, there is a more chance of getting it.
No, like I told you before, I don't. Nothing that I say is going to make sense to you. Not because of any lack of intelligence. It's just it's too far away. You're looking at things in an and or, if and or, but, this or that, black and white, left or right. You're just it's not going to come across.
What's the best way to approach it, considering the?
I think I think that's a very fair question. I would say first of all that, like, I'm not here to tell you that anything that I write or say or speak about or whatever it is good or whatever it is. I mean, it's everything's just whatever about what resonates with one particular human being, and if it resonates, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. And so I think the one thing I'll say, which really is not going to be heard, it has to be experienced, and that is that the human who comes to my work comes to it from having been exposed to the world for his whole life, and society, and the experts, and the blah blah blah, and the podcasters, and the influencers, and the media, and all of the worldly dogma. And as a result, he's coming from a place of assault. He's been assaulted, and he doesn't even know he's been assaulted. He's been brainwashed, and he doesn't even know he's been brainwashed. He's been conditioned, and he doesn't even know he's been conditioned. And he's been brainwashed and assaulted and conditioned into believing that if he does X, he will get Y. That's a complete lie. Those things can work in the setting of mechanical and technical things, but the human will then come to my work because he's used to 5 steps to become happy, 6 hacks to become this, 12 how-tos to become this, 19 steps to becoming more this. Those things are complete and utter garbage. And those are just tabloids, and they don't work. That's why they keep coming out, right? I mean, there's millions of them. That's why they're just throwaway paper. That's all they are. They're just content to keep the content coming, right? They're just for the masses. It's not for anybody serious, and the humans of the world are not serious. So it's a perfect fit. It's unserious things for unserious people. So, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. The problem is that when they come to my work, then they come and say, okay, well, what is your 5 steps? I have this problem. All these experts are recommending this. What do you recommend for what things do you think I should do? Do you think I should brush my teeth in the morning or 2:00 in the afternoon? Because the science says, and the experts say, and the industry say, like, that's what they come with. And very, very, very understandably so, because that's all they've been exposed to. If all you've been exposed to your whole life is French, and you come to a place and they speak Swahili, all you can do is bring French, right? Because that's all you know. It's not your fault. But that doesn't change the fact that you're in a land of Swahili. So that has to be understood, and that's not going to be understood, because why would you expect that you're about to enter a new sphere and new domain, right? Because every other sphere that you've entered have always been the experts and the 5 steps and the how-tos and the hacks and all that stuff. So why would you expect that coming in here would be any different? That's all you know. And so I think that's the shift. And either it does take place or it doesn't. And what people will do for years, not to be blamed at all, because you can't blame someone if that's all they've been exposed to. So what they will say is they will then say, okay, so what you're saying, they'll read something that I write, and there won't be even a shadow of a prescription within miles of what I write. But they'll turn it into one, right? And they'll say, oh, so what you're saying is I should do this. It's not at all. I didn't say anything about doing anything. But that's all. That's the only language they know. What is your tip, right? They will scour my work to find, okay, what's this guy's tip? So what's the take-home message then? Just tell me what do I need to do then? So you're saying I should do this? No. Okay, so then I shouldn't do that? No. I'm not saying you should do anything or not do anything. And that I think is such a disconnect that I don't think most get over that, because it's too much. It's too much of a going to Mars, right? This is Mars. compared to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And that shift is too big. It's too big of a chasm for most people. And they will prescriptionize and prescriptionize for years. They will see in my work things that I didn't say. They will turn it into something that they can turn into 5 steps. So I didn't give the 5 steps, but they'll make their own 5 steps out of what I said. And so it's like the book that I wrote a couple of years ago, whatever it was, There Is No How. It's the how to, I think, is so deeply in the water. It's so deeply in the blood of the human because of the exposure and the conditioning of the world, which is one giant how to. It's all the world is. Then you can't expect someone to abandon their language, abandon their conditioning, abandon everything they know. That's just impractical. But having said that, I'm not going to teach how-tos. Well, I'm not going to do something that to me is completely the wrong way to go to begin with. It's nonsense, right? So on the one hand, I understand, but on the other hand, I'm not going to, that's not what I do, right? So it doesn't mean that you need to come on board with what I do, right? It has to resonate with you. So I think that's probably the most apt thing I can say, because I think that is the trap that every human is inevitably going to fall into.
Is there a distinction, I guess, for the newer person as far as the work that you have that's behind a paywall, and I guess not, trying to buy your way into development that you're not quite ready for? Or understanding?
I think it all depends upon resonance. I think all things depends upon what grabs a human being by the heart, and to whom it grabs by the heart, they want everything, right? They want to hear everything, and they want to read everything, and they want to read it for years and expose themselves for years. And I think that can be a very productive thing. But I don't recommend it, because it's not my recommendation that matters. What matters is, and not even, and what matters for the individual himself is that it grabbed him by the heart for whatever reason, and because it did, they don't want to leave anything on the table. And for other people, it doesn't grab them by the heart, right? It doesn't make sense to them. That's not, that's not, doesn't resonate with them, and so for them it's not. So everyone is different. So it just depends. It all depends upon you, right? It all depends upon the human himself as to what resonates and what doesn't, and not that it should or it shouldn't. But from what the pattern that seemed to keep coming up is that those people, for whom it resonates, for whatever reason it resonates, I don't know why. You'd have to ask them. For whatever reason why it resonates and it touches their heart or it grabs them by the throat or whatever it is, then they want to go all the way, and they want to read everything, and the free stuff, the paywall stuff, whatever it is. That's a completely personal, heartfelt thing, and so that's what one has to go by, is what resonates with them.
Thank you.